All right, hello everybody. Scott Meyers, selfstorageinvesting.com here at OREIA, the Ohio Real Estate Investors Association. I ran into Dean and Danny from New Jersey. We've got a little different spin on the facility. They've got a commercial facility that they own over in New Jersey, and we just got to chatting about the business in general. And so I'm going to have them talk to you a little bit about how they got involved in the business and why they like this particular type of facility, which is the commercial facility that they own. So with that, I give you Dean and Danny. Hi guys. Well, tell us a little bit about, you said you're a landscaper, Danny, and then you got involved in the self-storage business. Tell me more about that.
Sure. I was in a storage facility. It's an industrial. And it needed some help. And the guy who owned it, you got to do everything yourself.
Mm-hmm.
No lights, just everything. And Dean and I were out one day looking for some projects, and I said, I got to stop by, see my guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Dean gave me a hard time about that, but I said, we got to go out and go look at stuff. And I said, right. So I go in, and the guy who owned the facility, he's on the roof, putting a tarp because it was raining. And that's how he fixed things, with a tarp. Or an umbrella. Even umbrellas. So he goes, wow, what is this place? And, we grew up together, and he said, well, this is where I keep my shop. And he goes, wow, it's neat. I said, yeah, but the guy won't sell it. So there he was, and I went up to him, and we pulled up, and I said, hey, Bobby, what's going on? And I said, you want to sell this place? And he goes, yeah. And he got off the ladder, and he came down.
Good timing.
And it was the perfect timing. It was in March, and he came down off the ladder, and we struck a deal. And it's not your average storage facility. It's like I said, industrial. So we have contractors in there. There's lights, electric. They can come in there and run a business, and we're having a lot of fun with it.
How often do the contractors stay, those commercial tenants?
That's a good question. I've been there since 1988. There's another gentleman that's been there since 1982. So for the most part, if you're running a real company, you're in there. We have a fiberglass fabrication company. They've been there for about 10 years.
And how many units did you say you had total there?
There are 75 units in total.
Yep.
Okay, and so it's a mix. It's a mix of 10 by 20s. And, then there's some, we built a 10,000 square foot addition. And what we did was when this guy, when we bought it from this gentleman, we bought it for $1.5 million. Okay. When he came off the ladder, it was 1.2 by the time he hit the ground.
Second thoughts every rung, huh?
It was okay, but
$10,000 every rung of the ladder. Huh?
And we kept with that. We kept looking at each other, going, okay, we'll go through this. We'll go through this. And what we did was we made an agreement. We called our attorneys, and we sealed the deal. And then the rents were down. The rents were way below. So what we did was on our way back from the closing, we picked up the list that we had, and we started calling everybody from the Parkway, Jersey Group down the Garden State Parkway, and we started telling everybody that their rents had just doubled. Okay, which they didn't double as far as the street rate; they doubled as far as what.
Sure, just bringing them up to market.
Just bringing them up to market.
We're bringing them to market.
And make it real. So they ended up, throwing keys at us.
Yeah.
I got the shingles from stress, but we got through all that.
Yeah.
And some guys, like the fabrication company, said, "What are you going to give us for that?" And I said, "Just relax." So we fixed all the roofs. The roofs were already flat roof. Went in there, fixed the roofs. Lights, there's not one light. We put lights throughout the whole place. We have vending machines there now, and it's real. We have security cameras to keep everything safe for them. Okay, had nothing.
Yep.
And now everybody is fine with it, and we're 92% full. Right.
So you took a Cinderella facility, turned it into the belle of the ball, brought the occupancy up from, where was it before you did all this? From when you kicked everybody?
But his rental rate was half of what it should be.
Right.
So in essence, he was 50% vacant. Right.
Yeah. Economic occupancy is much different than physical occupancy, and he's 50% below what he needed to be.
And what we did, we did the math on the way from the Parkway. We said, you know what? Even if half the people leave, we'd have half the people gone. The rents go up.
Have to do it.
You have to do something you had to do. And people were coming up to us and saying, hey, we have an idea for you. Raise us $20. I was like, that's a good idea. Give it to yourself. You gotta do it. So it's been fun, and we've been searching out looking for another facility.
Tell me how you structured the financing on it. You bought it for 1.5, is that right?
The financing is a pretty fun thing.
Yeah.
He wanted to do owner financing.
Yeah.
And
why did he want to do owner financing?
The same reason a lot of people, that they don't want the one-time capital gain. So he wanted an installment sale situation. So while we were doing this deal with him, he's a very smart guy. If you looked at him, you wouldn't know that, but he's a very good guy with numbers. So we spent some time structuring this deal. Right after the closing, we went to him. We knew that it needed to have a good-sized addition. We planned about a 10,000 square foot addition. So we thought we would need somewhere near $500,000 or $600,000 to accomplish this new addition. And because we had owner financing, we needed him to subordinate to a construction loan. So we were a little nervous about that. But we had a great rapport with him, and he knew it was the first of the month because that's when his check got handed.
Sure.
And so we approached him and we said, "Look, Bobby, we have a good relationship with you. I got to ask you a favor. Can you subordinate? It's going to go to a construction loan, so we're able to improve the facility and so on." He said, "Well, I don't like subordinations. I don't really like banks." He said, "But how much money do you need?" And we said, "I don't know. It's going to be $500,000-$600,000." He said, "Well, I'll give you the money." He said, "I just don't want to subordinate." We said, "Well, there it is." So he gave us $600,000.
So he has the first and the.
So how much money did you guys have to put into this deal?
We have about $250,000.
Yeah,
we put about $250,000 in.
Okay.
Up front. Yeah.
Right.
And then.
So what is that? My math's bad percentage-wise. I mean, you only put what 5% down on this thing or something like that?
1.5. We put in $250,000.
Yeah.
So whatever that comes out to.
Yeah.
Maybe 15% or something.
Okay, 15%. Sure.
Somewhere in that range.
Yeah. Okay.
And so now he gave us this new construction loan. We built this incredible addition that's been nothing but a cash cow for us. It improved the facility. In fact, what did he say to us that day when it finally dawned on him?
Oh yeah, he said I was trying. I gotta be honest with you. He said he's like a half a wise guy from New York. Okay, and he's like Joe Pesci. Okay, and he said he goes, "I'm driving down the parkway." And I said, "Wait a minute." He said, gave these guys a facility and gave them $600,000. And he was like, "Wait a minute, am I?" But you know what?
He knew it really was not a bad deal for him.
No, and you know what? If you're improving the property, that only secures his collateral and his investments and his first mortgage in that. So that's a smart move to make there. So awesome. That is awesome. So how much room did you have? Do you still have room for more growth on the property right now? If you want to go up.
Can't go up.
But that's, that's what we teach our students. I preach all the time is that we buy these value-add facilities that you can either bring the rent up to market if they're mismanaged or add more units, add more profit centers, and that's exactly what you guys found. You found something that you could add more, 10,000 more square foot on. Climate controlled, I'm assuming, on those, and you had the amenities for a shop to be able to build onto. And so, once again, what's the facility worth right now, would you say, conservatively, if you were to get an appraisal on it? Yeah. Bought it for 1.5.
Put in 6.
Put in 6, 2.2, 2.1, say, and it's worth about 3.5. So
it's a strong cash flow.
Yeah.
At the end of the month,
I'll
you
bet.
just have a pile of checks.
Yeah. And how many years did it take you to do that?
Well, 3.5 years, and Danny had to get the shingles.
So it took a few years off on the back end if we want to add that in. That's awesome, guys. That's just exactly what we're talking about doing. We're talking about buying these value-add facilities, finding those sellers that don't want to have to pay capital gains taxes on these things, that are offering the financing on them. You can put these deals together with the banks. They love these deals. They cash flow all day long, and then you add value in it. In less than 48 months, we're trying to double our money, and that's exactly what these guys have done. So thanks to Dean and Danny. I appreciate the story, guys.
Thank you.
Scott Meyers, selfstorageinvesting.com, signing off.